So, fruit is benefit of gifts. So I want to elaborate on this a little bit on gifts. What I mean by fruit is benefit of gifts. That's if you have a gift. What I mean by gift in this regard is your talent, your God-given talent. You know, if you have gift of prayer, for instance, if we say God's giving talent, God will not give you whatever is negative in your life. May it's not a God-given talent. So if you have if you have a talent, if you have a nature that steals, that makes you steal from people, it's something, it's an attribute that you have in you. It's not it's not a gift. you know Gift is a God-given talent. God's given talent. If you are endowed with the gift of prayer, for example, you know how to pray, it's a gift. And then what comes out of prayer? If you say wicked prayers, for instance, you don't expect anything good to come from that. So that's not godly. God is holy, God is clean, God is full of compassion, He's full of mercy. His grace abides for His people. So, like I was saying, if you have a gift of prayer and you discharge this, in a way that people will tap into grace from you. Because if God has given you the gift of prayer, He wants you to say prayers to people, to intercede for people, for example. And when you intercede, He answers your prayer. Especially when you are a child of God, when you are truthful and steadfast with God, and you do things that are in line with Bible stipulations. So your prayer, when you intercede for people, it gives you results. So when you can't, if you're really spirit filled, if you're spirit filled, you pray, God, the Spirit of God leads you to say the right prayer points. And when you do that, your prayers are most likely to be answered. So by doing that, you are discharging your gifts of prayer to humanity, and then it attracts virtue for you. So that's a benefit of gifts. So that is fruit. Fruit of the Spirit is we give you benefits of gifts. So when you have a gift and you apply it to good use, it brings results that are positive, and those are fruits in the positive way. So that's that. Fruit is produced by gifts which would have been applied to you. Just like I said, you apply your gift into effective use and into positive uses, and then they birth accomplishments, positive results for you. So that's that. So the second line is love, joy, peace, long suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness. So I'll just take this one after the other, because I just want you to understand all those attributes of all those fruit of the Spirit. Like I said earlier, I was trying to explain to you what fruit of the Spirit is. I was trying to explain to you what fruit is, you know. So we, by understanding what fruit is, we can, liken it to what fruit of the Spirit, what we mean by fruit of the Spirit. So, but fruit of the Spirit is joy, joy, peace, long suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness. So let me take this one after the other so that you understand what all this are, and then we can talk about transformation. We can, link all this to transformation, and we can round up on this Bible reference. So love, selfless love, and selfless love and loving self and neighbor. So Bible says, love yourself, love your neighbor as thyself. So when the Bible says love, like love is the fruit of the Spirit. The what does love mean? Love is a state of your feeling and your emotion towards yourself or towards the other people or the next person to you. So you can have selfless love, you can have love for yourself, you have love for your neighbors or your neighbor. So selfless love, for somebody who is a good Christian and who depends on God, because we should depend on God and not human beings. So for somebody who is a good Christian who depends on God, God expects that you love yourself, yes, love other people, your neighbor, as you love yourself. Sometimes Bible may talk about selfless love, because if you're somebody that is not in the world, you can have you will be in that state where you can have selfless love. When we talk about selfless love, it's most likely sometimes it may be that you're almost considering the other person before yourself. Which may not be exactly, but sometimes you just want to be good to people. You want to think of other people, almost thinking about other people before yourself. When you're not selfish, in your dealings with other people. You always want to help people. You want them to be, because that God has placed you in a position where you will be grateful to Him all the time. Because as a God's covenant child, you're enjoying the blessings that God has given you. You have abundance, you're living in abundance, and you're not lacking in anything. So already you have abundance. So you have people around you who may need your help. We're not talking about you. We're not saying that you won't love yourself. No. But you want people to feel that there is joy in thinking about how well other people are. When they need help, it looks almost like you're thinking about other people, the well-being of other people before yourself. It doesn't mean that you don't love yourself. But selfless love is, what makes you to love other people the way you love yourself. And then whatever God has placed in your capacity to do, you can do it for other people. You're not selfish about it. And then you don't want to be, you're not selfish about it, and you think about other people. You love them the way you love yourself. So, and then your neighbor, what you can't do, to yourself, don't do it to other people. So God is telling you that you should love your neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. So you are not going to be thinking about how to destroy the other person because you feel that he or she is better than you. And all you are thinking about is how that person will come down, how to destroy the other person, because she has some qualities that you don't have. Why don't you try and get better on your own? You can envy people. Envy is something that may be normal, but when envy escalates into hate, that you are thinking of how to destroy that person, then that's not a healthy envy. So you can compete with other people, but when competition is not healthy, you want to take what other people have, you want to take what other people have. You love what other people have because you don't have it. There's a way you can go around it. If you want to have it, you can ask for it. If it's okay, she gives you. If it's not okay, why don't you try and work on yourself so that you can get better and you can be like that person, if not exactly like that person. But when you begin to harbor negative thoughts about other people, how to destroy them and how to obstruct their lives, how to distort their lives, then you are not good to your neighbor. So what you can do to yourself may not be what you should do to your neighbor. So God does not love a wicked person or somebody that is evil. He loves us when we're his children, and God's children will not be wicked. So love is about loving yourself, having selfless love for yourself, for others, and then loving your neighbors. So peace. When you fruit of spirit, peace. Peace is when you have a life that is free of worries because you have Christ. Life free of worries. I used to be anxious over issues. Perhaps when I want something and I need something, I will be anxious. So am I going to get it? Am I not going to get it? Bible says, be anxious for anything, but in prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, make your request known to God. Peace and wisdom of God, which surpasses all human understanding, will guide your heart and mind through Jesus Christ. So you're not to worry about what you need, because God does that. All you need to do is pray and trust Him. He provides. So when you have God, when you have Christ in you, you won't worry about anything, because you know that God will provide it divinely. It comes as a shocking blessing, a pleasant, shocking blessing. It comes at the time when you will need that thing.